All right, so we are live. So welcome to our first talk from Women to Women Tech Talks. For this session, we're gonna talk about our brave graduates that decide to take an immersive data science course with us, with our women, and we're gonna talk about their experience, share, their whole journey, and also see where they're at right now. So I have a small presentation to introduce them. So I'm going to share my screen. Wonderful. Okay. Perfect. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. So this session, basically what we're going to do, we're going to first have small introduction about all women. For those who are still not familiar with our school, we're also going to talk about our programs as well. Then we're going to introduce our graduates. I'm going to share the powerful stories of these four amazing ladies. And then we're going to move towards the discussion panels. We have some questions for them that they're going to be answering. And then it's going to be your turn at the end to see if you have any questions for them. So, all right. So what about us? This is actually an image from our CEO and founder, Laura. All right, so we are a tech campus, we're a tech academy that we specialized in 3 different areas: data science, UX, UI, user experience, and product management. And I'm also really excited to let you know that we're gonna launch a full stack program that it's gonna start in February. So more information coming very soon. And also to the ones who already graduated, just to let you know that also you have an amazing discount to do. Great. Also, our programs are designed and taught by female tech experts. So this is a safe space for you, but also you're going to be accompanied by this amazing community of powerful women, which is amazing. And we're a growing community. Since March this year, we went remote. So it's also very exciting to see that we're receiving applications from all over the world, and we already have the first students that they're coming from all over. We have people from London, Berlin, we have some from India, also some from Paris. So it's really exciting to see how our community is growing and getting more international every day. And just to throw like some numbers, we're a community of more than 15K women. We also organize events. We're really active. Besides this event, every month we have 3 or 4 events already happening and discussing topics that are interesting for women, related always to tech. So you're more than welcome to keep like joining them and getting more information. And for the past 1.5 years, we've trained more than 150 women, and we're really proud of all our graduates. And that's why we're showing off with these 4 ones that we're going to introduce right now. And just for you to have an idea of the student journey, so you're come here because you're interested in data science. So obviously you can find all the information on our website. We have Data Immersive, and actually our 4 graduates, they've all completed the data immersive one, which is full-time, but also we have data science part-time and data analytics. We also have a machine learning one, but we've moved it to January since it's a more advanced program. And the student journey in general, the way that it looks is that always there's a pre-work, because we want to make sure that everybody starts with the same level, so you feel comfortable programming for the first time. And we always use Python, so that comes really handy as well. Then you take all your classes, and there's always a final project that you need to complete. And during the demo day, it's when you show off everything that you've been learning, and you can invite all your friends and family. And then afterwards, there's a career assessment and a hiring fair. And then you become part of the alumni community, which is also really, really active. There's always things going on, opportunities, coding challenges that maybe we're building with different companies. So that's a great community to join by the end. Wonderful. So having this overview, let's talk about our graduates. So introducing Ines Vilar. So she's digital operations engineer at BMAT. And yeah, she told us that her destiny was to be a surfer, but something happened there, right? And then she became digital operations engineer. If you want to elaborate a little bit more, Ines, about that, and welcome again.
Hi, thank you everyone for coming and for joining us. Yeah, it was just like a fun fact. I did surf competitively as a teenager. I was really into it for many years, but then my passion was really more for surfing than competing. So that was just a joke. I don't think I would have had a chance as a professional surfer, but here I am now as an operations engineer. Not bad.
And how is everything going at BMAT? Are you enjoying it? How long have you been there? Like, how many months already?
The end of May. I joined, I think we had our final presentation sometime in April. And then I joined BMAT at the end of May. So it's been three months, 4 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's going really well. It's definitely not, finishing the course was not the end of my learning journey. I think that's the main takeaway, but more like the beginning. I'm learning continuously completely new things that we didn't even touch upon in the course. So I think it's a good learning that the world of data is not just data science or machine learning. There's a number of different tools, frameworks, and knowledge that you have to acquire to be able to work with data in the actual industry. So for me, that's the main takeaway from these first 3 months.
And just like if you could describe like in a couple of words what BMAT does for people that maybe are not familiar with the company.
Yeah, of course. So BMAT is a company that's based in Barcelona that works in the music industry. The name stands for Barcelona Music and Audio Technologies. And basically what we do is to process data from different societies and publishers, labels that represent authors and artists. And we ingest that data, we enhance it with our own data from our database, and we match it with reports that we get from different streaming platforms, for example, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. All of those different streaming platforms will send us reports with all the usage data for all the songs that have been played around. And we do that process of matching the data with our client's database so they can claim royalties for the writers and the artists that they represent.
Awesome, that's super interesting. It's a very good example of like how tech can help artists. So well, thank you very much for the introduction, and I'm happy that you're celebrating your 3rd month. All right. So moving on, Maria Schmickers Jill. Am I pronouncing it well, Maria? Don't kill me.
Close enough.
Well, Maria, she is a linguist, and right now she's working as a junior crawling analyst at Red Points. And yeah, besides being like a linguist, a crawling analyst, and a data science enthusiast, she's also a trained pool lifeguard. Awesome. Maria, do you want to tell us a little bit about your work at Red Points, and maybe also by starting to describe like what's Red Points and yeah, a little bit about your day-to-day.
Yeah, sure. So Redpoint is a scale-up, and it's based in the US and Barcelona, but the tech hub is concentrated in Barcelona. And basically what the company does is it does online brand protection and monitoring for stuff like anti-piracy, but then also monitoring online marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, those kind of sites. And at the minute I'm working in the bots team. So there's loads of we have loads of bots that call all these different websites, and then also a meta bot, which is a bot that controls different bots. And that's what I mainly do at the moment. I work creating the input for the meta bot. So I look at different websites and figure out how to extract the data that we need from those websites, basically. And yeah, I've been there since 2.5 months now.
That's amazing, Maria. Actually, it's a very good example, like where data science also can take you, because Maria, as you see her here, I remember that she was really obsessed. She really enjoyed doing web scraping, and well, thank you to those skills. Now she's where she's at right now. So well done, Maria. Super proud. Amazing. Okay, so our next attendant is Marik Charlier, and she's an industrial engineer, urban planner, and data scientist. And yeah, yesterday she was telling me her story behind her name. If you wanna jump in and tell us yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. So yes, I put my name everywhere as Marie Charlier, but my real name is Marie Danielle Charlier, because in France it's very common to have two of even three names. My second name, Danielle, is the name of my godmother, but I hate it. And when my father went to declare me, when I was born, the official in church, she refused Marik because she didn't know the name. And well, there are a lot of these stories in Catalonia, because a lot of people on their IDs have their Spanish names, their name in Spanish, and they normally use a Catalan name. But in my case, so my ID, it's put Marie, but from the beginning, my parents called me Marie. So it's like, I didn't think it would be so complicated across my life, because, for example, one diploma I had when I was at the institute, I was the only one at school receiving it at home instead of giving by the professor at the school, because nobody knew at the school who Marie Danielle was. And my curriculum, I never know. Well, I put only Marie Charlier, but when they ask for my diplomas and everything, it's Marie Danielle, and it's like, it's a mess. But I like the song. You should listen to the song of Jack Brel. It's a nice one. It's not the most famous one in France, because it is also in Flemish, because it's Flemish. Marik means Maria in Flemish. That's it.
All right, Marik, and where do you see her here? Marik, she's always very involved in a lot of things. Since I've known you, Marik, you're doing a lot of projects. You're super involved with your community, and you're already applying everything that you've been learning and all your skills, always for projects either involved in your community or anything that has to do with making the planet better and greener. So.
Yes, exactly. I've not been, right now I'm not working, not looking, well, until now I haven't been looking for a job in the last 3 months, because confinement, well, I have 3 kids, and it was very complicated to organize a new job, a possible new job, and taking care of 3 kids at the same time. So I prefer to keep it cool and enjoy them during the summer, but I've been spending it allowed me also to spend a lot of time involved in my neighbors community in Poblano. I live in Poblano district in Barcelona, and I've been involved in 2 big projects, one about waste management, and another one about about urban climate emergency, the adaptation, the rehabilitation climática, that will be the adaptation to climate emergency for the neighborhood, and we hope to win the project with Barcelona City Hall. There is a big Pla Clima contest, and we hope we will be able to do this big project.
Well, for not having a job, I'm telling you, I always hear that you're busy doing something. Congratulations, keep it that way. And actually, I was thinking, like, every time that we're talking to prospect students, we share your project in LinkedIn and yours as well, Maria. So I don't know if you have it like with you. If not, I can share it later. But if you can put in the chat your LinkedIn like projects for people to see, they're honestly they're amazing and a very good examples that we're constantly using. Wonderful. Yeah. So now is your turn. Yeah, like I was also very impressed with your profile. Like I remember like reading that you were able to speak 6 languages, and I added Python because, of course, I mean, it's another language. I'm a translator. I'm telling you, this is another language. And I love also that your fun fact that it was that you jog in bouncy shoes. I need to tell you, I've never seen those before. And if you don't know what they are, I highly encourage you to look them up. Well, welcome, Valeria. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone for joining today. I can hear myself, Marta. Could you mute yourself for a second?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, but I'm hearing myself in your laptop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll mute myself. Sorry. Yeah, if you can tell us a little bit about what are you doing at Futurity Studio and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So about the shoes, they're called Kengo Jump. Sorry, there's a weird sound. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can. Like, can everybody like hear Valeria? No, I don't think we can hear you, Valeria. No. Don't worry. In the meantime, while you're solving your tech issues, we'll come back to you. Perfect. So the next part is basically talk about a little bit questions, the typical questions about why did you guys wanted to get into data science? All right. So am I sharing my screen? I think that I stopped sharing my screen, right? Perfect. Wonderful. All right, so I have prepared some questions so we can generate a little bit. Well, let's double check. How are you doing, Valeria? All right, let's check it. Let's see. It looks like she needs a couple more minutes. No worries. We'll start with the discussion panel. And whenever... Hey, now we can hear you.
Sorry about that. It seems to be working fine, and something happened.
No worries. So, yeah, like if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and Futurity Studio.
Of course, yes. So, well, I have actually a hospitality background. Apart from the shoes, the shoes are called Kengo Jumps, and they were actually made by Swiss athletes in order to be able to practice to do a high intensity cardio workout without hurting your knees. So their main objective is actually not to like jump around and have fun, but to do a good workout without hurting your knees, which you would normally do if you run for a lot. But yeah, I'm also a certified instructor, so I do classes in those. If you ever interested in past the the whole COVID situation, whoever is in Barcelona, I will definitely invite you for if you want to try.
Sign us in, please.
It is just like a kind of aerobics Zumba kind of class, but with the shoes, which are also 2 kilos each, so you get a really good workout for your legs. Yeah, regarding my career, I've actually come from hospitality background, just like Marta does, and I have worked in hotels previously. I've also worked as a tech recruiter before. Doing all women, and after the course I was very fortunate to join actually one of the other co-founders of All Women, Cecilia, in her new project, which is Futurity Studio, as a data scientist. Well, we do many things right now, but yeah, mostly data scientist, that's what I do. And actually since yesterday, I've also joined Glovo. So I'm now a data analyst at Glovo for the finance team. This is my second day. Super happy about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I'm still collaborating with Futurity, mostly as data scientists. What we're working on, it's basically a extension of my project at All Women. For those who don't know, I've analyzed some nutritional values of some products, and my objective basically was to see what kind of scores could be helpful for us as human beings that don't really understand every single thing on the packaging of each foods. What kind of score, what kind of reference we could use to see if it's healthy or not. And so that's kind of what I'm continuing to do in Futurity, but including some other aspects, for example, sustainability. So I'm also now studying a little bit about the CO2 and water waste regarding to several products, and trying to sum it all together to see if we can get a good overview of the food products that we have out there that are not only healthy but also healthy for our planet. And for Glovo now, I'm a data analyst, so I'll be mostly working with the finance team on structuring and doing like a thorough analysis of their financial data in Barcelona.
Wonderful, Valeria. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that, and congrats again on the 2 jobs. Same girl, you're nailing it. Awesome. So we're gonna move towards the discussion. As I'm telling you, there are gonna be some questions that I'm sure some of you have, they have asked yourselves at some point. So that's a little bit like the idea, right? Like to share the insights, and you're gonna see that everybody has had the same doubts and concerns at some point. And also we would love to share with you their journeys and how was the experience after all with our boot camps. All right, so we're gonna start with an easy one. Why did you choose data science? Marek, if you wanna share with us.
Okay, I'll go. Well, basically, before I moved to Barcelona and started working in a translation company, which is what I did before my job now, I did an internship at the Open Data Institute in Leeds, which is my home city, and I just found it, I don't know, it was a really transformative week for me because all the projects that they were involved with there seemed really fun, really cool, really innovative, and really useful as well, really productive. And so that was kind of my first introduction to the idea, the concept of data science. And then I just, as time went on, got more and more interested. So I decided that I wanted to do a course in it.
Maybe I got my case is quite different. Well, I decided 1 year ago I didn't even know what data science was. I heard about big data, obviously, and things like that, but I was in the middle of professional conversion, and I'd been in a lot of events, and the last one I went was a citizen science event, and I find it was really I find it just really interesting and a good way for me to reorient myself and to give me new way to do things. I'm already 43, so some I didn't learn Python at school, even if I am an engineer. So it was great for me, and it was really a very instantaneous decision. I discovered the formation, the training in just by Christmas, and I started it in February. So short time to do the program, but very interesting.
Thanks to you both for sharing your, like how you started and how everything went for you. Wonderful. And did you have any concerns or fears before starting your journey? Actually, a lot of our, I just wanted to share that a lot of our prospective students or people that are calling us, they have a lot of concerns, and I'm curious to see if you guys also had the same. Valeria, you wanted to share?
Yeah, of course, and I am sure you can relate also, Marta, coming from a hospitality and business background. I was very much afraid of not fitting in, but also of completely not following the course, because I didn't have any kind of technical education whatsoever. So I did do a little bit of additional preparation, I have to say, before the pre-work. So like a tiny Python course to at least have an idea of how everything works. But I have to say that it worked out really well. Probably the first 2 weeks were really intense, and then I realized that that I totally can do it, and that with time it all kind of sits in my head properly.
I think my main concern was at the time I was working full-time as a business analyst. So for me, it was more that whether I would have the ability of combining both things. In the end, I managed to do part of the course in part-time and part of the course full-time. And yeah, it was definitely worth it doing it part-time. I mean, it's great if you don't have another option, if you have to keep your job and continue to do that. But I think it's really worth it if you can fully immerse in it, and if you have that option, of course, it's worth it to do it full-time, because I think you learn faster. Probably the beginning is harder because it's quite intense. It's intense work. It's intense brain exercise, and you get out of the days quite tired. But I think you get a lot out of it if you really jump into it full time.
Oh yes, I completely share everything that you guys have been saying. We usually get a lot of questions of oh, do I need it to be in a technical background? Well, in this room, the only industrial engineer, the only lady that I remember that she was grasping all the machine learning concepts and probability, it was Marie. You were doing it just like that, I remember.
No. This was just an external feeling. It was not so easy at all.
You look very confident. But at least you have maybe more.
I was best at statistics. Statistics was okay for me because I already studied them.
It always helps that you have already a base on statistics, on probability, obviously, but this doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to do it. Yes, Valeria was saying, I also come from a say from a letters background, like a humanistic background. I am a translator myself, and I also did it. Maria is a linguist. So definitely, obviously, everything that you can research on your own. I also remember like taking a lot of Python courses. There's Code Academy, there's Data Camp, but it's more for you to just have an idea of like, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy it? Another way that we also encourage our maybe new students, it's also taking the technical assessment, and if you have fun with it, since it's completely free, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna take it, and I remember having a lot of fun with it. I was doing some research on Barcelona's population, and it was kind of cool. And then, yeah, when I was going to my friends or even my boyfriend, I was telling him like, look what I did. Look, did you know this about Barcelona? He was looking at me like, what? Well, we need to do, we're nerds here. We need to do whatever makes us happy. Let's embrace it. We love data. We love extracting information from stuff. And so let's just be it, right? All right, wonderful. Anybody else wanted to add anything from the discussion?
Just to add to that, I think like because it is quite a big commitment. Sorry, I have some background noise, but I can't really control that. Okay, I think it's gone now. Yeah, just because it's quite a big commitment, both in terms of time and financially, to do a course like this, I think it's definitely worth to do what you said. Like before you jump into it, take your time to do some courses online, to do like basics of Python. First of all, you will be more convinced of whether or not this is like what you want to do. And secondly, I think once you do get into the course, and if you do decide that you want to make that commitment, it's going to be easier for you to at least not feel completely lost with the concepts to start with. You will at least be familiar with terms. You'll know a little bit of basic Python. You'll have done maybe like some basic statistics course. I think it's definitely a worthwhile investment to do some work online on your own, and then when you feel like this is what you want to do, jump into the course, because you learn so much faster.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more with that. Amazing. So these are kind of like the previous concerns, right? There's also a lot, I see a lot of this sort of energy, like, am I gonna be able, and looking at tech like this unattainable field, and looking that it looks very scary. No, don't look at it like this, because we're doing it. There's a lot of women doing it. It's also, there was this sentence that I read once. I can't remember. I've been looking ever since, like that it was related, like it was a community of women in tech, that it said basically like, be afraid and still do it. Oh, I thought it was kind of like my motto through the bootcamp. Wonderful. So now talking about your experience, and regarding the bootcamp, any highlights, any fun stories that you want to share with the community?
Well, maybe in my case, since I am from a technical background, maybe I was more worried about the woman ambience. Because I always studied with a lot of men. I always worked with a lot of men. All my job, I've been in the industry. So it was like, how will that be? And it was so great. And what I like the most, I believe, it's the motivation of the people. We all share, well, different stories. So it's very rich, and the exchanges are so nice. But it's like, well, yeah, we are all looking for different paths, but with the same motivation, and it's very, very nice to share this feeling.
I love that you're sharing that, Marik. It's very true. Like, there's women coming from all different backgrounds. I remember in our class, there were 2 business analysts, a linguist, one from marketing, and I'm come from translation, even though I work more in tourism. So it's great that everybody is bringing something different to the table. It makes it like really colorful and diverse, and we can help each other. I definitely agree with that, Marique. Thank you.
I definitely agree with Marique as well, and I also really enjoyed the demo day in the end. Like, I think for the weeks during which we did our final project, it was quite stressful, the prospect of having to present it at the end. But when it got to the actual day, and even when we did the practice session before to kind of run through our presentations, it was just really cool to see what everyone else had achieved during the course as well, and the projects that came out from our group I thought were really impressive. And it was just cool to see how far everyone had come as well.
It's so true. So just for whoever like doesn't know like how this how the course goes. So we have like 3 projects that are like guided with a teacher, and then there's one final project that is completely open to whatever you want to do. Valeria was mentioning that she also did this the food tagging and the ingredients and so on. So in that project, you're working for 3 full weeks non-stop. You dream about your project, you're nervous about the project until the day comes. No worries, there's a rehearsal day. That saved actually my life and gave me a lot of confidence, because I was super nervous to present, and then the demo day comes, and it's actually also a moment that we also invite like secretly. I don't know if I ever told you, Valeria, like in your demo days, there were some recruiters there, but we never say it, just in case, so you guys don't get super nervous from where you already are. But yeah, it's a great moment of catharsis and presenting everything that you've been learning, always surrounded by your peers, which always helps. All right, anybody else? Yeah, Ines?
I think just in general, like the good thing about, because like you might be considering weighing doing a boot camp versus like doing a master's or doing your own courses online. And I think like the good thing about the boot camp really was the learning environment that we had, like the teacher we had, the peers we had. Because you might think that learning, especially something technical and quite challenging, might be something that's very formal and not fun, but it's the opposite. I actually think that we had a small group, so it was actually very relaxed, and you felt very at ease to ask whatever you needed to ask, to have jokes, make fun, to like, yeah, I think in general that's one of the big advantages of the boot camp, is that you also get that aspect out of it, which I think is very motivating and makes you do better in your studies.
Wonderful, thank you, Ines, for that. All right, so moving to the next question. So coming from a background in your own industry, so here let's remember that we have an industrial engineer, we have a linguist, we have a talent acquisition person, and also a business analyst. So coming from all these different backgrounds, what was it to shift your career or boost your career studying data science?
I can start. So for me, I got to a point where I had been working as a business analyst for about 5 years in different projects. And there were 2 aspects of it. Like when I started the course, I didn't know whether I wanted to continue to be a business analyst, but just like add that, like have that boost of having the ability to code and create models, business models in Python and so on, or if I really wanted to switch my career. I was looking at all the options at the time, and then eventually I did end up doing more of a switch. But I think that was mainly it. So I felt like I was kind of capped by the fact that I didn't have those technical skills. So I didn't have access to a lot of different opportunities. Even my ability to perform as a business analyst was also kind of like not fully developed, or I thought it could be more developed by adding these technical skills. And on the other hand, there's this whole other world of opportunities that are open to you once you do break that barrier of like deciding, okay, like I can do this, I can go into a more technical role. And it is kind of a mental barrier that you have that, okay, you're not able to do this because it's not your background, it's not you didn't study for it or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter once you do see the purpose of learning it, and you are able to learn it and you are able to apply it to whatever you're doing, whether that's business analysis, and the cool thing as well about our projects was that everyone was kind of trying to apply it to whatever they were interested in. So it's not limited to one thing, or one project. You can just have whatever interests you have and whatever career path you've had and apply it to that with some domain expertise. That's like the best mix to apply this type of skills, I feel.
Thank you very much for that, Ines. I think it's a very inspiring words that I really hope that they open some of the minds of our participants here. I think there's something like so true in what you're saying, that there's a lot of things that we tell ourselves that we can't do, or that maybe we're not there yet, and it's just giving it a try, literally giving it a try. There's thousands of free online courses. Just sign up one today and try it, because you might find yourself like, oh, like I'm not just this 5 years of careers experience. I might be more than that, and maybe I can apply this layer of tech and be more employable. And plus, I'm doing something different and new, and I'm proving that to myself. I definitely share a lot of that feeling as well in my own personal journey, as well as like proving to myself that, yeah, I can do it. I just set my mind to it. I enjoy doing it, which is super important, right? Like, as we just talked about it, like that you enjoy coding, that you enjoy doing all this analysis, and then just go for it. Just go for it. So definitely agree with that. Thanks for that, Ines. Anybody else wants to also share their experience?
Yeah, sure. Me, I was interested especially in NLP when it came to data science, because I thought for me that was perfect, because it was the ability to combine like what my language background and my language skills with data analysis. So my thought coming into the course was to kind of like, for me, it didn't seem a really radical shift. It was kind of more to develop different skills, but around an area of interest and a career path that I already had. Yeah, that was my experience.
Thanks, Maria. I also love that you were talking about NLP. NLP, it's natural language processing, and it's where machine learning meets text. And then for those who are not good with numbers, so I'm the first one, when I first was introduced to NLP, it was like everything made sense, because instead of having just numbers and abstract concepts, you were working with text, and it really helped me to understand how machine learning actually works, and it helped me to understand the algorithms. And we actually get a lot of linguists and translators interested in NLP. NLP is amazing, guys. Like, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's lovely, all the sentiment
Yes.
that you can do. Topic modeling. I'm sorry, like 1 minute of promotion of promo the NLP. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop. Anybody else that wants to jump in?
For me, actually, I knew I wanted to do something different when I came to Barcelona, and I kind of fell into a recruiter role. But I thought it was a good opportunity to check out the market and see what's happening here. And that's how I actually found out about the whole data science field, because I was a tech recruiter and I used to talk day to day on a day-to-day basis with lots of technical professionals, and just basically gathering feedback also for myself. And I realized that maybe something that sounds more interesting to me would be data. So I actually, before I started doing online courses, I specialized myself in recruitment in data only. Yeah, that also helped a lot to understand a little bit how people are. And then I decided to do an online course, first in Coursera, I think. They actually have, whoever is in Barcelona and listening to us, they have a free, they sponsor Generalitat de Barcelona, they sponsor right now Coursera. So if you want to do any free course, you can before you start your bootcamp or whatever. To me, it helped me a lot to understand whether it's for me exactly or not, and then continue. But yeah, as soon as I learned about it, I realized that it would be a perfect switch. I did not know exactly where I would apply it yet because I wasn't sure. I just wanted to go away from both recruitment and hospitality, and I think in the end it worked out perfectly.
Thank you, Valeria. I'm also in the Generalitat course. I love that you mentioned it, even though this is not a space promoted by like Coursera, although I think now they should. But I'm taking a course from the University of Michigan, so going international here. It's pretty cool. Perfect, wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing all of this. And one very last question before we move to the Q&A. So to kind of like sum up a little bit everything that we've been mentioning. So to someone that is considering switching careers, what piece of advice would you give them? Like a one final piece of advice?
If you're considering, just do it. don't think about it too much. Don't do too many online courses. I know we've talked about it a lot, but just do it, because it's, if you are already thinking about it, it means that you already need to do it, and the sooner you do it, the better, because otherwise you're just gonna waste your time thinking about it and deciding what to do with it.
Yeah, for sure, I agree with that, and I will say also believe in yourself. I believe we can do anything if we want to do it. Ready.
I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. So true. Any last words of wisdom?
I agree with everything that was said before. If you're seriously considering it, I think you will find that after you do it, you won't think it was a waste of time, or it was like, you'll definitely think it was a worthwhile investment. You'll feel more empowered. You'll feel more, you will at least have more knowledge about your abilities, what you like to do, what you don't like to do. So it's definitely something worth exploring. What I would add to that is that don't think it ends after the course. It's a continuous learning experience. If you want to get deeper and deeper into the world of tech, it's not 3 months or 6 months or a year or a master's that are going to do it, and you're going to have to like continuously upgrade your skills and continue on that learning path. So just brace yourself for the journey and jump into it.
That's so very true. And you brought out a very interesting point, Ines, and it's, yeah, that with tech, you never stop learning. And that's actually, this is sort of the attitude that also you need to bring at the bootcamp. So 90% it's your attitude, 10% is the content. Because when there's something that is not working, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen and a lot, you're frustrated, you want to take the computer and throw it out of the window. And that moment, that's when you realize how of a big a community you have and it's very easy to find people who are as nerdy and geeky as you. Again, embrace it. It's completely fine. You have a community there. Yeah, that you're gonna see that a lot of work is whatever you make the most of it, all the research that you do, and there's a lot of brilliant minds that are already like working on that. And so yeah, it does not stop after the bootcamp. It continues, and it's a lovely experience. All right, anybody that I missed? No, perfect. All right, so thank you very much to all of you again for being here, for sharing your journeys, your experiences, your thoughts, your fears at some point, and where you're at right now. We're really, really proud of you. And now we're gonna move towards the Q&A. So the stage is gonna be all yours to the participants to ask any questions to our 4 amazing graduates. I'm gonna stop the recording just right here, just in case somebody does not want to appear or you're a little bit shy. No worries, I got you.